In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at an exciting new product coming to Kickstarter called Game, which they're releasing for the 30th anniversary of Time Crisis, a plug-and-play console for your TV. Unfortunately, this is coming to Kickstarter and it's already ran into some difficulty. On top of that, we're going to be taking a look at the latest episode of Arcade Life with New Wave Toys and guessing at what we think the next New Wave Toys 1/6 scale replica is going to be. And then last but not least, we'll be taking a look at the exciting commercial pinball announcements we've seen in the last little while, with of course Jersey Jack doing Harry Potter and Pinball Brothers doing a title we're all super excited for, Predator. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Michael B, and welcome to the Friday News Blast. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Game, the Time Crisis plug-and-play console coming to Kickstarter, and how it's already ran into some legal difficulty. On top of that, we're going to be taking a look at New Wave Toys' next cabinet, what we think it's going to be, and some other news about outstanding products and the cancellation of one that is actually very cool. And then last but not least, we'll be taking a look at Jersey Jack's Harry Potter and of course Pinball Brothers Predator. But before we get into that, I want to say thank you so much everybody for checking out the video. Guys, I always appreciate the support. This is your first time to the channel, you like what you see, go ahead, subscribe, click the bell for notification, all that YouTube jazz. So you guys may have seen a video from Mad Little Pixel a couple weeks back talking about a plug-and-play game console he was pretty excited about called Game, one of the stupidest names I've ever heard for a product, but also kind of ingenious with it being Game with apostrophes around the AIM in spelling it mistakenly, but aim as in aiming a gun. Anyways, they're doing a 30th anniversary Time Crisis plug-and-play game, which is going to plug directly into your TV, and then you can play the arcade versions of Time Crisis, Point Blank, Steel Gunner, and Steel Gunner 2. Now, one thing I do like about this, anybody who's previously owned a copy of Time Crisis, like myself, I own Time Crisis 2 and 3 for the PlayStation 2, you'll remember the gun con and how difficult it was to get it set up and get it working and how it won't work on modern TVs. This is offering a plug-and-play solution with a gun that will work on modern TVs and play these 4 arcade titles we all know and love. So guys, here's the Kickstarter page. Game, plug-and-play Time Crisis gun for modern TVs. Game, again, that name. So this is currently a project that is launching soon. It's up on Kickstarter. I'll leave a link in the description below. You can go check it out for yourself if it's something you're interested in. I know a couple of my friends in the home arcade community, like my buddy 19K Fox, are already super excited for this. Unfortunately, there already seems to be some problems with this Kickstarter for the Time Crisis plug-and-play, as it actually got took down earlier this week with a notice going up on the page saying Game plug-and-play Time Crisis gun for modern TVs, Game, is the subject of an intellectual property dispute and is currently unavailable. Now you have to assume the culprit here is in fact Arcade 1-Up, who have notably been involved in legal action to get Shuffle Golf taken down off Kickstarter, rumored to have sent a cease and desist to Iconic Arcade, and now they've struck again as the games list and the play is so similar to the Arcade 1-Up Time Crisis cab. Now, guys, don't take that too seriously. I'm only half joking with that piece, but it is funny how this is basically the exact same game lineup where you can play Time Crisis. I don't think that's actually the factor. I think it has more to do with something like maybe the way that the gun is actually made. Who knows? The good news is that seems to have been already resolved as the Kickstarter is back up and active. You can go check out this Game plug-and-play Time Crisis gun for modern TVs from Taisei Denki Co. Currently available on Kickstarter. I did just want to highlight they've already ran into a couple problems, so just be careful when making your Kickstarter pledge. Moving on, I did want to talk about Arcade Life Episode 4. New Wave Toys did do another episode of their Arcade Life, and huge props to my buddy Shiloh there, rocking the Oilers jersey, representing the Oilers in the Stanley Cup Finals. Good Canadian kid. like myself. However, they opened up this episode giving people an update on all the pre-order products that a lot of you probably currently have and giving estimated dates on when you can expect them. We know New Wave Toys has recently gone through a lot of difficulties, both with the tariff situation as well as the LA wildfires, so they're kind of backed up at the moment, but hopefully this will get them back on track and you guys know when you can expect your products. In much cooler news, they did provide an update on the viewing monitor for the Dragon's Lair cab. That was nice to hear about. I know this is one people have been waiting forever for, so good to see that finally coming along. They also, unfortunately, provided some negative news where they did indicate that the Time Traveler prototype that we saw on the last episode that they were hoping to get up and running has been shelved indefinitely. Unfortunately, that is an absolute travesty. What a cool piece people would have had, but it just didn't seem to receive the support it deserved. Plus, with all the other projects they were doing, maybe it was just a little bit too risky. Now, and probably the most exciting news of the whole show, we got our peek at the next 1/6 scale replica coming from New Wave Toys. Finally, a new arcade. People have been complaining. They wanted to see it. We got this silhouette, and we were told that this is an arcade game from 1980. So let the speculation start. Of course, it didn't take long for the internet super sleuths to identify what the game possibly is, with a lot of people assuming that it's going to be the Century arcade classic Phoenix. Now, this game plays a lot like Galaga Galaxian, so a lot of people seem to love it. One thing I love is the cabinet art with the wood grain and the image on the side. I think this is going to be a good addition to the New Wave Toys 1/6 scale replica library. I'm excited for it. I know a lot of people were assuming it was Zaxxon. Zaxxon wasn't made in 1980, unfortunately, and it would be really hard to replicate that deck in the 1/6 scale. Now, last but not least, we did get some very exciting news in the world of real or commercial coin-op pinball in the course of the last week, with Jersey Jack finally officially unveiling their Harry Potter pinball machine to amazing, interest from the community. The pinball community is all blown up about this. I know several people that are diehard pinball fans, never bought a Jersey Jack pinball before in their life, have already gone out and made purchases on this. In fact, my buddy Conti Dinda sold his Godzilla pinball, or is in the process of selling it, and has already pre-ordered a Harry Potter arcade edition. Now, if you guys are looking for more information and more detail on how the machine plays, go check out our buddy Retro Ralph. You all know him from days back in the Arcade 1-Up community. Ralph has transitioned into pinball in the last couple years, and he was actually tapped by Jersey Jack to do the official feature vignette on the game with his creativity and skill, and of course the amazing work of Mason Conrad. They put together this fantastic video. I'll leave a link in the description down below. So if you guys want more information on Jersey Jack Harry Potter, everybody's gone nuts about this. There are 3 different versions that you can buy. Of course, the collector's edition, and you better have big money to pick this one up. This is done with artwork by the original artist from the not the comic book, but from the books who did the illustrations, Mina Lima. This one is coming in at $15,000 US. This comes with the Golden Snitch shooter rod, different artwork, and a different topper. Then there's also the Wizard Edition, which comes with the normal artwork and more of the movie characters, so you can get the actual actors. Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter, Snape, all those guys. It's really interesting the way they did this with, Slytherin, all the bad guys on one side, and then, what was it called? Gryffindor, and the red on the other side with all the good guys. That one's $12,000. And then last but not least, this is the cheapest edition, coming in at roughly around the price of a Stern Premium. It's actually $1,000 more. You can actually get the arcade edition. But that wasn't the only long-rumored pinball machine finally to get revealed. We got the next release from Pinball Brothers based on an iconic 80s action movie we're all pretty excited about, Predator: Soon the Hunt Begins. Now, there isn't much information up other than looking at the machine itself. I will say the back box looks kind of strange with it being all one piece and then the DMD in there like that. Usually the back glass is separated from this area, but maybe that's just a unique thing Pinball Brothers does. I mean, it's got a lot of ferns. I know P-dubs will especially like that, but you know, they're really going for that camouflage look. This is a title people have wanted in the pinball world for a very long time. I know my good friend here in Newfoundland, actually, huge pinball guy, Chris Kelly, was actually making a homebrew Predator pinball machine. Now he doesn't have to wait. Pinball Brothers are doing their own, so check back in on June 18th for the official, not unofficial, official unveiling. So anyways, guys, that's all the news this Friday that I wanted to talk about. Of course, that game Plug and Play could be very cool. I know a lot of people are interested in jumping in on this Kickstarter. Just keep in mind, there's already been an issue with some sort of legal dispute that forced them to take the Kickstarter down for a couple days. It's back up now, but you should have that information if you're considering possibly supporting it. Then, of course, we've also got New Wave Toys, tons of information on all the pre-orders, bummer information on the fact Time Crisis probably isn't going to happen. The Time Crisis, Time Traveler isn't going to happen. But of course, we do have the good news that there is a new 1/6 scale Replicate coming, and it looks like it might be Phoenix. And then last but not least, lots of cool pinball news. I know Harry Potter is already out there in the wild someplace. Get out there and check it out at your normal locations. I mean, Jersey Jack, they make beautiful machines, have fixed their flipper issues, but still, that's a lot of cheddar, and this is one that every arcade's going to have, so it should be easily accessible to you guys that want to go out and play it on location. And then last but not least, check back June 18th for more information on the upcoming Pinball Brothers Predator Pinball machine. Anyways, guys, let me know down in the comments below what you think of all the news today. Is there anything you're super interested in, or are you a little bit nervous because of the Kickstarter information going with the game Time Crisis Plug and Play? Let me know. Anyways, guys, thank you so very much for watching. This is Michael B. the Game Genie. I'll talk to you next time.